All right, welcome back, my friends. So, in the previous video, we covered Python functions and arguments. In this video, we're going to be looking at recursive functions in Python. All right, so recursive functions, let's take that down, recursive functions in Python. Okay, so basically, recursive functions are functions that call themselves in order to solve a problem. And one thing we should actually consider here is that when working with recursive functions, we have two concepts to look at. The first one being the base case, and the second one being the recursive case. So the base case is, the condition that the recursion would, follow before it ends, right? So the condition has to get to a base before it ends. And the reason why the base case is important is because it would prevent the function from calling itself in an infinite form, right? You need to get to a particular point in time that the recursion ends, right? And then we have the recursive case. The recursive case is the part of the function where it calls itself with modified arguments, gradually moving towards the base case. All right, so I'm going to show an example with a factorial, check, right? If definitely you know what a factorial is. We're going to look for the factorial of a number, and we're going to write a function that can actually perform that kind of action. So let's get started. We're going to create a function. Let's call that function factorial. Factorial. Okay, so yeah, I almost wrote factional. Factorial. So if we have a function factorial, let's set up our base case here, and we're going to give the base case to say if the value of n that will be passed in get equals to 0, let us go ahead and return 1. So this is our base case. We can add a comment here for now. So we can say base case if n is 0. This is a comment, by the way. So if n is 0, return 1. Now this is our base case. Next, we can include the recursive case. So let's say else, and this is going to be our recursive case. We can return n times factorial. Okay, so we're going to say factorial bracket n minus 1. So this is the point where we get to call, recall the function itself, so that we can keep, moving backward minus 1, as you can see, based on the value that was passed in, until we get to 0. The moment we get to 0, the factorial base case is reached, and it terminates the execution of this function. So in order to call this, I'm simply going to say print, and I'm going to pass in factorial bracket 5. So this is to say we're looking for the factorial of 5. Let's check that out. So I'm going to pull out the terminal, and I would simply say python 3 main.py. So as you can see, we have 120. That is the expectation of calling the factorial function with the value of 5. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.